Good morning, preschool. Today we are going to continue our 3D tactile art project with a little caterpillar. Super happy caterpillar today. So the materials you're going to need is a super heavy duty piece of construction paper, cardstock, poster paper, computer paper, mixed media paper, something heavier than the average piece of normal paper. You're also going to need some colorful half sheets of paper. We're going to need our heavy duty scissors, something to write with, your transparent or scotch tape, and a glue stick. So to start, you're going to take your pretty colored paper and we are going to draw straight lines about 1 inch thick down the long side of the paper. So you want to make sure it's portrait, not landscape. Okay, on my half a sheet of paper, I created about 3 lines, which should be good enough. You're not going to need all of them. You'll only need about half of that. My caterpillar that I created this morning only took 5 rings. That's all that would fit, but depending on the size of the ring that you're making, you could make more than just 5 rings. That's completely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and do my pink paper since I just did my yellow paper. So I have 2 rings for my pink paper, and I'm going to do 2 rings for my blue paper. And by rings, I mean my nice straight lines on my papers. Okay, so now that I have my lines on all of my papers, I'm going to go ahead with my scissors and I'm going to cut on those straight lines so that I have some nice, even strips of colored paper. And again, you want to have at least 5 of these colored strips so that you can create a 5-ring caterpillar. Or you can do more than that if you plan on making a much larger caterpillar. Again, completely up to you and the amount of space that you have on your paper to create. This one's not very good, so I'm not going to use that strip of paper. But you want to have some nice 1-inch strips of paper. Okay, I'm cutting my last 2. Okay, now you're also going to need some antennas for your caterpillar and you're going to need some legs. So what I did is you're going to take a small piece of paper and we're going to cut even smaller strips. I used pink color. Again, it's completely up to you what color you would like to use. For this one, I think I'm going to do some blue. So you want to cut maybe 1 inch strip of paper into a nice rectangle shape. So you want to have a rectangle about this big. Mine's about the height of my scissors and only a little longer than my scissors. And what I'm going to do is we're going to cut super small strips. And you want at least 8 to 10 of those. So when you're cutting your strips of paper, you want to make sure that you have as many strips of paper as you do rings, and you want 2 small strips per ring, since you need a leg on each side of your caterpillar body. And then you need 2 antennas, so that's why I say you need at least 8 to 10. On mine, I have created 10. Each side of my caterpillar has a leg, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then for my antennas, I have 2, which makes 9, 10. Okay, so I have 10 strips of paper. For my rings, you only have 5. 5 large ones and 10 really small ones. Okay, so next you're going to take your heavy duty paper and make sure that's on a flat surface in front of you. And you're also going to need your long strips of paper, not the super small ones, your bigger strips of paper, and you're going to need your tape. Parents, you are going to have to help your kids with this, just like we did yesterday. The taping is a little difficult for the young ones to do yet. So you're going to need about 1 inch to a 2-inch strip of tape, pretty long. And you're going to fold your caterpillar body into a ring. Okay, so on the inside, you can see where my one piece overlaps the other. That's where I'm going to go inside and stick my piece of tape. So now on the inside, it is taped together, and I have 2 little pieces of tape hanging off the end. So when you tape it on your paper, it is perfectly taped down. It will not come off, and your ring is also taped together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all my different colored strips of paper so that I have a nice caterpillar body, and he's going to have about 5 rings. Okay, so far I have 2 side by side, and you want to make sure that your rings are going the same direction all the way across your caterpillar. Otherwise, it's going to look like he has a broken body, and that's a little silly. Okay, so I'm on my 3rd caterpillar body piece. I'm on to my 4th, and then I only have 1 more to do after that. Again, you can make these rings however big or small you would like to, depending on the amount of surface area you have on your paper. You can do a nice super big caterpillar, or you can stick with a really simple small caterpillar. The smaller the rings that you have, the more body pieces you can create with your caterpillar. But keep in mind that also means that's going to be more legs you're going to have to cut and more surface area you're going to have to cover. Okay, so now I have all of my 5 rings taped down onto my paper. Notice how I didn't make them perfectly straight. That's because I want my caterpillar to have a little bit of a wiggle to him, just like I did on this one. See, my caterpillar is not straight at all. That way when you look at him from all sides, it actually looks like he's kind of moving. So that's what I did with this one as well. You want to make sure it's not super straight, but if you would like your caterpillar to be straight, that's completely up to you. So the next step is you're going to need your glue stick. Now that all of those pieces are taped down, hopefully, and not falling off, you're going to take your glue sticks and our little pieces of paper. The first part I'm going to show you is the legs. So when you do your legs, you're going to take your strip of paper and we're going to fold each end into each other. So now it should look like that. It kind of looks like a large staple. You're also going to take your glue stick and we are going to glue. This one is my head and I don't want to have legs coming out from my head. So I'm going to start with my blue body piece and I'm going to put the glue right in front or behind where that piece of tape is. So if you can see on mine, that shiny piece of tape is there. If you try to put your glue on it, it's not going to stick. So you want to make sure that wherever you put your glue is either in front of or behind that tape piece. Okay, so I put mine in the front. I am now going to fold this piece again in the middle. And these two little flaps are what is being connected to the glue. Only those two little pieces. So I can show you up close. I just glued the little folded edges and I left a little bit of a teepee shape for my caterpillar legs. And you're going to do that about 8 legs, and you're going to do 1 on each side of your caterpillar body. I'm only going to show you a couple, otherwise I would be here for a very long time doing this. It does take some time, so I want you to try and do this on your own instead of following along with me, because it is quite a long project. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes to sit here and glue this, and parents, if you're helping your kids create this project, it's going to be even longer. So please make sure you have some time in your day to do this away from my class. So as you can see on my completed caterpillar, I glued down all the little legs, and every body has 2 legs. And as you can see, they are in front or behind those tape pieces. So the next step I'm going to show you is how to attach your antennas. So what you're going to do is take your 2 strips of paper, and you're going to do almost the same thing you did for the legs. We are going to fold one side on each antenna. You're not going to fold both sides like we did for the legs. You're just going to fold one side. Okay, so now I have my 2 antenna pieces, and they both are folded at the tips. I am next going to take a small piece of tape, about 1 inch, and I am going to tape just the little edge onto the piece of tape, and I'm going to do that for each piece. You can put both antennas on the same piece of tape. Okay, so now whatever is the sticky side is going to be taped onto your caterpillar. So you want to find a spot where you want those antennas, and presto, just like that, you have your little antennas. If you feel like it, you can sit there and you can curl them a little bit, add a little dimension to them. That's completely up to you. All I did was bend the paper ever so slightly, and now it's got that little curve to it. Next, you're going to take your drawing utensil, pen, pencil, crayon, marker, whatever you would like, and you're going to do your face. So when you do the face, you want to be very careful. Again, make sure you're not trying to put marker, crayon, or pencil onto that tape where we taped the antennas. You can glue the antennas as well. That's completely up to you. I like to do the tape simply because it's faster, but with the glue, you will avoid the whole trying to write on the tape process. So I'm going to have a nice happy caterpillar with a little nose. There's my happy caterpillar. You may draw your face however you would like, in whatever fashion you would like. You can make him silly, happy, sad, angry. That is completely up to you. It's your caterpillar. So when you are completed with every single step to your caterpillar body, you can decorate it, you can put glitter on it, you can do whatever you would like. It is your project and it's completely up to you. I hope you guys have fun making this with mom and dad at home. Please be very careful with the tape and scissors, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.